like to invite both candidates to step to the front of the room, and we're going to proceed with questions. Now, to do the honors to the people listening on the radio, when you're introducing yourself, please say your full name. And before the candidates answer the question, I will call a name. I will call their name from my microphone over there, so that the people listening at home know who is answering at what time. Right? Good luck, candidates.
Oh. You should get my head a lot.
Hello, from the other microphone. If you would like to ask a question, we are going to take a maximum of 4 questions. Please put your hand up and I will select you. We will follow gender parity. So go.
Ask a question. Sure. Hi, my name is Holly Norris. I'm a 4th year Women's Studies and Environmental Studies student. And LeBon in particular, you mentioned sort of campaigning against sexual assault, I guess, and telling people that sexual assault happens. I mean, at least as someone who's been raised as a woman, I'm very well aware that sexual assault happens. I don't need anybody to tell me that. I've been told that since the day that I was born, that there is a risk of me being sexually assaulted or raped, and in fact 1 in 4 women are raped or sexually assaulted in their lifetime. So certainly this isn't something that needs to be told to women and other people. It's something that needs to be stopped. So I want to know concretely, like, what are you guys doing? Because especially recently we've seen horrific examples of victim blaming, such as at York. Police came to York and told women that if they stopped dressing like sluts, they wouldn't get sexually assaulted. In Winnipeg, a man just escaped a prison term because the girl was wearing a tube top and a skirt, and sex was in the air, or whatever the hell that means. And in Texas, an 11-year-old girl was raped by at least 18 men, and they said she wore a lot of makeup. And they said these poor boys are going to have these bad reputations for the rest of their lives. So what are you going to do to stop sexual assault and to stop victim blaming? Because I think these are huge problems, and these exist on our campus for sure. I don't need somebody to tell me that I could get raped at Trent. I know that. I know that every day when I walk home in the dark, and everywhere.
Okay, for that, for me, as a male, I didn't know about any sexual harassment. I had to go look for it.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. That's the band speaking.
Oh, sorry.
The band will tackle the question.
I'm sorry. This is Levi speaking once again.
Okay.
So, as a male, like I said, for the assault happening, I had to go look for it. I don't know about it. Maybe the females do it, but I don't. You know, and the male should know about it. You know, to warn it. If any action takes place, there will be repercussions, point blank. And for the victim blaming, you know, there's counseling. That's why I'm trying to provide counselors, special counselors. It's not the female's fault. That's obvious. Is the aggressor, you know, and you know, and the ISW. That's why I want to implement. That's why I implement other resources. Tell the resources to tell there are resources, and it's not your fault. And all this incident that's happening, and I was at York. I was at York for 1 year before I came here. It's true. York has a very big reputation of sexual assault on women, and it's really sad. It's a big university. It's a good universities, and the blaming it's not. We should blame the authorities saying that, and it's sad. But from speaking from a male's point of view, I didn't know anything about it. I assume for all the guys who were here, do you guys know that there was any reports of sexual harassment? Show of hands. It's not a lot. Look at that. That's sad. And I think if we inform them, it would be a lot better. And that's my question. That's my answer.
Rhea will take a go at it now.
It's Freya taking this answer. Thank you for the question, Holly. I'm going to answer it a little slightly different than
Oh.
Bob.
Oh, sure.
There's not resources on campus. Those resources have been cut, and papered over. That's bullshit. We don't need to raise awareness of sexual assault. It is, like, we do need to talk more about it, which is a form of awareness, but we need to systematically challenge the administration and the community at large about gendered violence. This is not something that happens in obscure places. This is something that happens time and time again, and the administration is not challenging it. I was at a campaign against sexual assault meeting with Mary Kim Oliver, the Associate Vice President of Student Services. She walked out of the meeting halfway through after she said, "This isn't so much for concern. We have resources talking about it. Here, just talk to the risk department." That's bullshit. We need to do way hell more. The campaign against sexual assault is not just talking about there's more counseling downtown. That's not what the campaign against sexual assault is. Campaign against sexual assault is systematically challenging the lack of resources, challenging patriarchy and gender-based violence, and the campaign against sexual assault has produced some interesting ideas, and we're continuing to produce more and more vibrant ideas. On the topic of York University, I will take a moment to flaunt CASA. We are considering getting a bus down to Toronto to participate in the Slut Walk, which is challenging the Toronto Police Department in that horrific statement saying, "Don't dress like a slut, you don't be sexually assaulted." So these are the types of things that we need to make sure that students have every opportunity of participating in to voice their concerns and their frustrations. This is not something of saying there's more resources downtown. That's not the issue. The issue is, well, there's no resources, and that we're not challenging the systematic gender-based violence that is happening on our bodies.
Thank you very much for the answers. I hope that answers your question. We're going to move on to the next question. And since we're following gender parity, we have